Scotty, and this is Striker, one of my Scotties, and we're here to have a fully finished parade of all our cross stitch. So we'd like to welcome everyone. We'd like to thank everyone that's watched our Flossmas, that's watched our Flosstubes. Please like and subscribe if you see something you like. I have finished fully finished 66 projects this year. Some are mine and some were not. Some were found things and some were in my box. So let's get on with it. After we see Winston, we'd just like to say hello. Here's Winston, and he would just like to say Happy New Year. And today is January the 2nd, 2025. Can you believe it? Well, let's see what we've been up to this past year in review. But first, before we start, I would like to say thank you, a humongous thank you to one of my, I'm gonna swivel you around just a little bit. Sorry about that. To one of my sweet, sweet friends that I met at Stitch, Florida. Her name is Carrie, and she made me this beautiful card, which I just got today. Isn't that beautiful? And it wishes me a Merry Christmas, and she thanks me for being her friend. And just thank you so much, Carrie. But look, she also went the extra mile and made me a beautiful ornament, handmade ornament. And I love the frame that she chose for it because it matches it perfect. Look at this beautiful little wreath, and it's got a heart, and it says 2024. And I'm gonna write her name on the back and put a little sticker so I will actually know exactly who this came from many years from now. So thank you, Carrie. It really is special when somebody stitches you something. I appreciate it. All right, and that is on very small. I do not know what it is. Okay, so let's get on with our FFO, or Fully Finished Objects Parade. All right, this list is kind of crazy because as I was going through and writing down the ones in my little diary, I thought, you know, I need to put who these things are by. So some things have pictures because they've been given away, and there's one or two things that it's like, what in the heck is this? I don't even remember stitching this. But I know I did because I keep a very, very close watch on my book. The first thing that I finished was from a retreat at Pandas Crossing, and this is Strawberry 10. This was a pattern off the internet. I do not know exactly who it's from or by because I could not find the pattern. So this was stitched on 28 count, probably cashel linen. And I think it's just so pretty. And yes, those checks are cross stitched. And I put a little ribbon around the little 10 to finish it. And it holds my needle minder and a pair of little scissors for travel. Yes. So there is that. That's number one. Number two is, let's do this. Okay, so we're going to do that. Okay, number two is stitch. Now, is it the stitch bag I finished from Shepherd's Bush? I do not know. I think it might be, but I'm not sure. I had Little House Needleworks beside it. So if anybody has an idea, please let me know, because it could have been a Smalls exchange and I just slipped by and didn't take a picture, but I couldn't even find a picture. Then the next thing I had that I also didn't have and couldn't find, I've lost one of my bags that I keep stuff in, was the August Flip It and the September Flip It. I cannot find those from Lizzie Kate, but I do have the November Flip It pattern. That was the only pattern I could find. So I've done the August, the September, and the November Flip Its. Go figure. It's going to get better than this, though. Okay, and the only other thing that I had no clue was Reindeer Fun. I have no idea. And I looked through my Christmas stuff and I could find nothing. So I'm assuming that was an exchange that didn't get done. So now we're on, oh, here's a picture of my November finish. I did find that. Believe it or not, the pattern was with it. Go figure. Okay, so next, what did I do? Okay, Valentine's Day came up. And I did All of Me Loves All of You. This is one of the collector's hearts from Heart and Hand. And I finished it with a chenille that I had and some fabric I had. I think this was included in the kit along with the button. The button, I think, was the linen. No, it was the linen, the button, and this was fabric I had. And this is on 28 count, and it has some back stitch, a Smyrna stitch. These little hearts are like a special Smyrna type stitch, and this little snowflake, or dot is, and the rest is cross stitch. I really enjoyed stitching this. Okay, and the next thing we had was something I finished for Dolores. And she couldn't be with us today. Once again, she's in Charleston, I'm telling you. This is Be Mine, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this is a with thy needle and thread pattern. I'm gonna tilt it just a little bit. It's got the two doves sitting on the top, and it was just a lot of fun to finish that for her, and she really, really appreciated it. So that was one I did not stitch. Okay, then the next thing I finished was one item out of the top drawer to make my top drawer totally finished. Okay, the one I finished was the scissor charm, and I did it just like Kathy Haberman suggested to do, and so that made my whole top drawer complete. Well, that's not cooperating. I even made the drawer. That's what we made. Okay, the first thing, she gave us this little peppermint for finishing our projects, the pin cushion with a little ribbon, and it's very ingenious. She just pinned this ribbon on. I thought that was really, really good. And she gives the best classes. Then we had the needle book, and she showed us how to stitch this and put our initials. And there's the needle book. And I've got the ribbon on here so I can tie it closed. And then the two scissor charms. And the only one I didn't get finished was this one. And I just think these are just so cute. And she even gave us the finishing material also in the kit. All right. So that was a big, big finish to finally get everything finished. And we lined the box with matching material, coordinating material. So that was fun. And I learned a lot doing that one. Okay, then the next thing I finished, this has been sitting around for a while, and I'm just like, I need to finish this. This is called It's in the Bag from Noteworthy Needle. And what I did was this coffee sleeve here. And I also got this at a retreat. It says, stained with my favorite brew. And it says this on both sides. And I didn't do the best job finishing because I didn't cut it out right, but I thought this was really cute. All right, and that was on 28 count, and it looked like some kind of coffee tea dyed thing, but I think it was like maybe a mocha something. I'm not sure. But anyway, there's a couple of nice patterns here, and that's from Noteworthy Needle. All right, the next thing, okay, that was called It's in the Bag. It took me a while to figure out what that was because I was like, oh my goodness. The next thing I gave away as a small, and I could not find a picture of it for the Smalls Exchange. And this is Thread Keeper from Little House Needleworks, and I put it on the pouch just like this. And then another small I gave away. This one, I think I gave it away at the Camping and Stitching Retreat. This is Autumn, and this is the little scissor case from Lizzie Kate. It was an entire kit, and I just stitched that. It was already on there, so poof, it was finished. So that was nice. And then I was looking through my box, and I found this, that one of my, I don't know I think I stitched this, but one of my girls may have stitched it, but I really think I did. And this is just a little heart with some little flowers. And I put some mini rickrack on it, and then just used a piece of light pink for that. And this is on 18 count Aida. So I thought that was cute. And it was nice just to get something finished that had just been laying in the box for forever. And I don't even know who the pattern's by or anything. Then the next thing I've got finished was Hands-On Designs Black and White Garden Pin Keep. And we also did this as a retreat project at Pandas Cross Stitch and Beading. And mine says needles and pins within this keep. My button keeps flopping. I need to put a different button on it because I'm not happy with that. And then here's the back. And then here's the inside with my pins and my scissors. And I just think that is just so, so cute. I let this lay around for a few years before I got the courage up enough to finish it. But it's on 28 count, and it's a dirty cashel. So I really, really enjoyed stitching that. All right. Then the next thing I finished was Stitcher Sensations. And this was a limited edition candle and pattern set by Poppy Creations and Waxing Moon Designs. And it's called Faith, Family, and Friends. And the candle was apple pie scented. And this is my finish on this. I was going to make it for a small, and then I liked it so much, I kept it. And this one's on Cafe Mocha, I think. And it's 28 count. And the little button came with it. And I stitched Family, Friends, and Faith in the grass. That grass was like something else. And then I had this nifty piece of fabric, and I thought that'll be just perfect. So it's 2 strands over 2. Faith, Family, and Friends. All right. And I'm sure that's not available anymore. The next thing I stitched that I do not have the pattern for anymore, and I learned I need to rip off the pom-poms and do them again. This was the first time I'd ever glued pom-poms on something. And anyway, this is called Be Sweet. And this is by Annie B's Folk Art. And I got this in a box from, don't remember now. And this is 32 count. And this is the fabric that was enclosed to finish it. Or no, maybe I had this fabric. See, I don't remember. It's been so long ago. I need to take better notes. That's my goal for this year, is to take better notes. And to comb my hair better. Go figure. All right, and it's 1 strand over 2. All right. And that's Be Sweet by Annie B's Folk Art. Okay. All right, then the next thing is I had a new granddaughter this year, my first granddaughter, and I know I have pictures of her baby sampler, but I could not find them anywhere. And I did not want to go on a massive search because I left my tree up so we could do this, and I need to get this tree down before I go back to work. But anyway, I did Sugar and Spice Burst Sampler. And if you watch my Flosstubes around, I would say last, oh my goodness, January maybe, February. Anyway, this is what I gave her. And it's got her name on it and when she was born and everything. And I mean, I looked at all the pictures and I thought, I know I kept this. But when I go down there, I'll make another picture and then the other one will turn up. But I did this on a pink and white checkered gingham fabric that I got off Etsy. And it was 28 count, if I'm not mistaken, because I couldn't find the pink polka dots. And then I decided I liked the check better. And she just loved it. She really did. So that was just really a letdown because I couldn't find that one. Okay, the next one I have is a shepherd's bush, and it was a kit, and it's on 10 count Chula, and this one's called Bees. Isn't that cute? And I have several of these. I just pop them in and out of this frame, and I used 3 strands over 1 thread because it was 10 count, and they even included the little button. Too cute. Okay, the next thing I had was, okay, another smalls exchange. I went to a lot of retreats this past year, and I made smalls exchanges for everyone, and that accounts for why I do not have pictures of everything. I mean, not pictures, but the item of everything. And I had a picture. Oh, here it is. Okay. Goodness gracious. Okay. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I thought I was organized, but evidently I'm not. This is a Lizzie K, and it was a limited edition stitch kit, Birds and Bugs. And it's a needle book. And when it's closed, it looked like this. This was my finish. And when it was opened, it looked like this on the inside. It was really fun to do, very quick stitch, and the person I gave it to really liked it. So that made me feel good. And I don't know where the pattern is, I just seem to have a picture. Go figure. All right, the next thing I did was I belonged this past year to the Dying to Stitch Berry Club, and one of the berries I got was the goldfinch. I think this was about the first berry or second berry. And I actually finished it. It was done on 36 count R&R Reproductions Berry Blue Linen, and it used Weeks Dye Works. And look at this berry. Just such a beautiful bird. And I stuffed it with walnut shells or lizard litter at the end, and then polyfill, and then I made this and put a little button on the top. And this is the Goldfinch by Erica Michaels. And I found out I enjoy making berries. I just don't like making the tops. Yeah. The next thing I picked up out of my under the bed box was something that my daughter Amelia had stitched a long time ago, and this is Sunbonnet Sue, and she stitched it on 14 count Aida, and I made it into a little pillow, and she was so tickled when I gave it to her during the summer, and I put some chenille trim on it, and I used some fabric I had in my stash. Then the next thing I made or finished was a free pattern, and it was from Brooks Books Publishing, and I just read on, I don't know if it was Instagram or Facebook or some group I belong to on Facebook, that the designer had passed away. She's been battling cancer for 6 years. So I'm so sorry to see her go. And her Etsy shop, I think, will be closing. The person that they left in charge, you know, is going to do that. So anyway, this pattern is, and I'm just going to show you a little bit, Lucky Day, and there's my finish. And this one's done on 18 count Aida, and the chronic is, well, no, I used metallic gold 5282 DMC, and the rest is DMC, and lots of different colors, all the colors of the rainbow. He's so cute. And I take him out every, well, I'm going to be taking him out. He showed his face last year for St. Patrick's Day for the first time. Yeah. I started to say I take him out every year, but I do not, because he's just fresh made. All right, and it was on white Aida. Then the next thing, I stitched 2 items for a friend, and I'm sure if you watched my Flosstube this past year, you saw them. And the picture I've got is terrible of one. And this is the nurse's Oh, goodness. Nurses Honor Guard. The first picture is not too bad, but it's not as good as it could be. And this was a poem that a friend of my friend wrote that's in the Nurses Honor Guard. And my friend is the president of the Nurses Honor Guard in South Carolina. And they go to like nurses' funerals and, you know, do a little ceremony, kind of like the Masons or the veterans, and they just honor the nurses. And I heard firsthand from one of my friends at Pandas on Stitch Night that she actually witnessed one of these funerals, the little ceremony at the funeral, and it was just amazing. And she has friends that want to be in the Nurses Honor Guard because they love it so much. They were so impressed. So I will be passing, that along to them. And then the other one I stitched, the other poem that Christy wrote was, it's not Christy though, I think it's Crystal, the Nurse's Sampler. And see, this is a terrible picture because I cut the bottom off and didn't know I did that. But anyway, she loved them, and that's all that matters. So I just wanted a little remembrance of the first two patterns that I actually, well, not the first two, but two of the patterns I actually designed. Okay, and then I had a big finish that had been a long time in the making. This was, I think, one of my, oh goodness, my camera is just automatically moving itself. Okay, sorry about that. This is from the magazine way back when. Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, May, June 1989. So if you have this issue, you have this pattern. And this is what we know, they called it pallet stitching, but it's known as the brick because I did it like the doorstop instead of like this. Okay, and this was one of the first or second, I think this was the second stitch along I ever did. And notice I dated it 2023. Now I did not start it in 1989. And there's the side and the back. And the other side. And the bottom has Lady Dot's velveteen on it. And I'm just very proud of this. Look at all those French knots. And the buttonhole stitches. And there's back stitching and satin stitch and brick stitch and Smyrna crosses. There's just all kinds. And lazy daisies. Don't like lazy daisies on cross stitch material. And then there's the leaf stitch also. So yeah, very detailed project. And this is on 14 count fiddler's cloth. When this was, and now they call it oatmeal, I think. But this was when, this was about all that there was. So yeah, so I enjoyed finishing that. And it also had mosaic stitches, buttonhole stitches, chain stitches, and fly stitches, which I forgot to mention. All right, then I never finished a Hands Across the Sea sampler. You know, I've still got Mary Clayton. She's still going. But my daughter was having a birthday, and I thought, wouldn't this be nice to give her this at her birthday so I wouldn't have to mail it. It wasn't a birthday present. But I did this because she named her daughter Zora after my Aunt Dot, who was Dorothy Zora. That was my godmother. And I did Elizabeth Garrod, and I changed a little bit down here, and then I put Dorothy Zora Bentley, and I put my aunt's name. And for some reason, I couldn't find a picture of that either. I'm telling you. And I did this on 36 count, and I used Auvers Soie, and I don't even remember the color I used, because did I write it down? No, I did not. But I love these charts. They're easy to read, and I highly recommend it. And if you don't believe I stitched this or the other things, go back through the year and watch things, because you will see things. I still have to find that reindeer fun, because that's blowing my mind. I'm just like, okay. All right. Then, I know where this pattern is, but I know the whereabouts of where this pattern is, but I've been working on this series from Country Cottage Needleworks, the Sampler of the Month. And this is July. I fully finished that one. And I put some blue rickrack, and I did the blue and white Priscilla's checks, Priscilla's plaid. Yeah, that was it, Priscilla's plaid. And I just put this on a frame from Hobby Lobby. It had something else on it. And I did it with magnets. It said, good food, good mood. Yeah. And I just did it with magnets. And there you go. So, yeah. I just got magnet to magnet because I found that the hot glue where I store mine, because we live in the South, the glue just dries up and then it just falls off. So I'm going to start doing magnet to magnet because that seems to work better. Then another retreat came up and I did Rhythm of the Needle by Colorado Cross Stitcher. So I have a picture of this because I gifted it with the birds and the thread. And I just finished it with rickrack and some material that matched that I had in my stash. Okay, I love Sherry's patterns. They are just so pretty. Really, really pretty. And then I went to another retreat. And, well, no, at that retreat, I also wanted to thank the person that picked me up at the airport. And I gave them Stitching Friends Are the Best. And this is also a Colorado Cross Stitcher pattern. Isn't that cute? And this was some fabric I had in my stash. And I used some navy blue rickrack. And then I went to another retreat. And I did another pillow just like it for the different person. This is Teresa Koget's fabric. And this is from Colorado Cross Stitcher. And then I went to another retreat and somebody picked me up and I did another one, but I made it like the first one. And I'm going to hold pictures up so you'll see they're a little bit different. And some people may say, not much, but a little bit. Some people may say, well, you just took the same one twice. No, be sure and watch my videos because I did those, all three of them. So then, because it was summer and I needed something to hang up over my doorway in my kitchen. Usually I do this with the seasons. I did one of the Bent Creek rows and I did the summer row, finished that because I got this at a retreat also. And I love that sandcastle, all three of them. These go by real quick. Those letters stitch up and the sand crab and the seagull, I mean, those were just so cute. And this has been up in my kitchen since July. I had to just take it down. I forgot to put something else up there. But I had this framed, and this is on 28 count something. Yeah, that was when I didn't keep up with my floss and what color it was. All right, then I got the berry kick again, and I stitched another berry from the Bristol Berries 3 collection and the one that says Bible. And I made my top, and I just really like this one. This was on white Edinburgh 36 count, and I used one strand over 2. And if I'm not mistaken, I used Auberchois, and it was one of the ones I got at the attic from Jean. Okay, now we're switching gears a little bit and we're going to Halloween. Okay, but before we go to Halloween, I found 2 more that I had stitched. This one is Grandmas Are Gray. If you know, somebody gave me a bag of stitching things from somebody that had passed away, and it was their grandmother. And I found this and I thought, this is finished. I'll just finish it into something. So I made it into a tiny little pillow and I gifted it back to them. And they were touched. They really were. It was one of my piano students' grandmothers. So this was done on 14 count Aida. And she used, I think, Coates and Clark's floss. JP Coates, that was it. JP Coates floss. That was what was in the bag. Then the other thing that I stitched, I gave it away and I couldn't find a picture, so I went to Pandas and took a picture of hers. Cheater, Cheater, Pumpkin Eater. This was a free pattern from Lizzie K, and this is a scissor fob, Liberty. And if you want to see if I finished it, remember to watch the photo, because I couldn't, watch my videos, past videos, but I could not find mine. But now I did mine with red cording. And that was a finish also. Okay, so now we're going to go to Halloween. I'm all set up for that. Okay, the first thing I finished was a little pattern. It's called Boo. And I saw this on Instagram, this finish where it looks like a cracker. Isn't that just cute? And I figured out, how to do the ends and then how to do this. And I'm going to make more. I just haven't done it yet. But I think this is just adorable with that candy corn. And this is on 32 count, I think. It says Boo. Then I went to the, well, I didn't go, but I participated in the costume party stitch along with Kathy Haberman. And this is my finish. Halloween. I really, really enjoyed stitching this. My ribbon, as usual, is not behaving. Look at that. Oh well. But anyway, I really enjoyed stitching this. I did not keep up very well. This is on 32 count. And whatever linen that she used, I did not have. So I had to pick one out of my stash. And I used some rickrack that was included with the pattern. And no, I bought the rickrack kit. And then I bought the board. And I also had this little spider button, and I thought, and some ribbon. And I thought, well, I'll just do it that way. And the ribbon is not behaving. That's a little bit better, but not much. All right. Then, the next one I did was from Primrose Cottage Stitches. And this is Toil and Trouble. Isn't that pretty? So, I did this one, and I had some modeled linen, and I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I just thought it was real cute. I bought this at the Target Dollar Spot, or, yeah, I think this was at the Target Dollar Spot. And I had some little buttons that I ripped the back off of, just cut the back off of and glued them on here for little charms to decorate up the frame. And I stitched 2 strands over 2 threads on my linen, and it's probably 32 count. But I really enjoyed stitching this one. And I used some Halloween fabric I had in my stash. Imagine that, I had Halloween fabric. Yes, in my stash. Oh, excuse me. Then the next thing I stitched, the year before I had finished the Biscornu, but I saw this little scissor fob and it said Hoot. And I thought, oh, that is just precious. And this is a limited edition Lizzie Kate. All it had to do when it was Lizzie Kate was say limited edition. I was like on it, And this is my finish right here. And then there's the back, some fabric I had. But I really enjoyed doing this, and I made the cording from DMC. And this is about when my quarters started tearing up. So, because that was about the last thing I was able to make before it broke. Then the next thing is a punch needle. And this had just been laying in my under the bed box for forever. This is my first punch needle ever. And anyway, I bought this frame and I thought, girl, why don't you just put this in this frame? It is not that hard. So I did. And I just think it's so cute. This frame says Boo. And this pattern is from Plum Pudding. And it's got 3 different patterns, and I chose the witch hat for my first one. And one of these days, I might do one of the others. But, you know, I just seem to like cross-stitch so much more. But the frame was pre-painted, and it was offered at the time the kit was offered. So, and I bought it that day, and it took me forever to frame it. Then, okay, the next thing I did is I got the bag bug. Oh, I need to hold something up behind here. Okay. And this is Boo, the mini bag from Shepherd's Bush. I bought this when I was out there. I guess I bought it when I was out there. No. Maybe I did. I don't know. But anyway, I bought the little orange bag, and I got the pearl cotton and stitched this all up. And I think it's just adorable. This was in one or two sittings. It didn't take me hardly any time. And I did not stitch upside down. I stitched, you know, like looking at it, you know, I just opened up the zipper and just stitched like this, because I can't stitch upside down. My brain doesn't like that. Okay, then I got the little Blackbird book, Halloween book, and it was one of the small ones, and I know it's somewhere, I just don't know where. And I did Tricks or Treats. That was the main reason I bought that. And I think that is so cute. And look, the little crow or raven, he's holding his trick or treat with one leg and walking on one leg. But I had so much fun doing this, and I finished it on this little easel from Hobby Lobby and put some rickrack around it. And I think this linen was Banana Popsicle from Fabrics by Laura. Or Laura's Fabrics, yeah. But that was such a fun stitch, and that was on 32 count. Yeah, 32 count. Then the last thing I stitched for Halloween, I could have sworn I had the pattern for this. Oh well. This is called, yeah, Creepy Spider Etu. And it means it's a needle box. Look at those pumpkins. And they sent the ribbon and the little stick-on spider washi tape. And it's got a little magnet that they put in there for your needles. But isn't this just cute? And they also put in, hang on a minute, I found it. I couldn't find the scissor fob, but I found my picture of the scissor fob. And, oh goodness. And there's the little beaded kit, well, the kit, and they, those were my scissors. I got at some retreat. But this, they gave you all the beads to do a scissor fob also. Just so, so cute. Just love this little needle box. So that'll be coming out next Halloween. All right. Now, it's time to move into fall. Okay, so I went to Friend Stitch again. It was a Zoom retreat, their Halloween retreat from the year before. And I didn't want to finish my little crow here. It was the Halloween pop-up gathering crow. It was a Zoom retreat. And I didn't want to do it in the hoop. I was like, oh, I want to do something else. And I found this fabric in my stash that had these crows on it. And I thought, oh, this is just perfect. Then I had a piece of old Thimbleberries fabric from a couple of quilts I made. And I did this, and it's on 28 count, and it used Weeks Dye Works, and it's just so, so cute. This is one of my favorite fall pillows when I put it out this year. It was like, yay, this is awesome. I love their stuff. Then I went to a retreat, the Camping and Stitching retreat that Privies and Prims puts out, and you really need to watch her floss tubes, I'm telling you. She has excellent cross-stitch floss tubes, and she also has camping videos that she puts out too, and her little camper is just adorable. I had pictures of it on the Camping and Stitching retreat videos, so go back on my playlist under retreats and look at the Camping and Stitching retreat. It's just so cute. And her friend Lois, she has a cute little camper also. They're vintage campers. But this is the giveaway that I made, the Smalls Exchange I made, and it's Chubby Squirrel from Jeanette Douglas. and I thought he was so cute. I got the pattern at Sassy Jack's while it was exclusive, and I put some mini olive colored or moss colored pom-poms on there, and I stitched it on, oh goodness, I don't know if that's 32 or 36 count, but I just thought he was so cute, and I'm going to stitch me another one because I like him. I had a hard time giving that one away. If I had had more time to stitch something else, it would have been mine. All right. Then the next thing was for Thanksgiving, and I have had this pattern for I don't know how long. And I thought, you know, I really, really, really need to stitch this. And it's called Gobble from Bent Creek. And there it is. So you can tell this is oldie but a goodie. Okay, so I found a piece of vintage country mocha that was 28 count that I had kitted up, and I put it on this cutting board that I got at Hobby Lobby probably. And I put some fabric around it to kind of give it a little edge because there wasn't much room, but it just barely fit on here. And I think this is so cute. And this is just the cutest turkey. Just so, so cute. And I used 2 strands over 2 and all the call for colors. But he's cute, and he's got little legs on this board so it could stand up. See, it's like an easel kind of thing, which is good. At first I was kind of bummed because it had legs, and then I was like, oh, this is good. I don't have to put it on the wall. So that was great. All right, next, let's move on. Oh, we got one more. This one is another Gobble. And he's a Bent Creek zipper kit. And I put the mini pom-poms on him. And I did him with the pearl cotton. And it's on 18 count linen. And I think it's just so cute. And he's got a little easel also. So, so cute. And I don't have that pattern anymore either. Okay, and next, let's move on to Christmas. Okay, I gave my oldest daughter, Jeanette, this one. This is a pattern I picked up. The pattern was free, but you had to buy the buttons. And so I bought the buttons at Stitching Frame, so you know how long ago that's been, and I got the pattern free. And I stitched it on this opalescent, some kind of dirty type linen or natural raw linen. And then I put the buttons on, and I'm like, how in the world am I going to finish this? Because they had theirs finished in the shape of the manger and the scene. And I thought, I just don't know if I can do that. So then I saw this, and I put these little ivory colored pom-poms on here from Lady Dot Creates and made it into a small for her. And I noticed that when I went down there, I gave it to her before Christmas. And when I went down there for Christmas, she had it displayed with all her other nativity things. And I'm pretty sure this was probably on 28 count. Never mind. Okay. Then I had a viewer that gave me a pattern, and I stitched it really quick on this piece of fabric that I had. It was kind of a mint green Lugana, and I just loved it. And this was from my friend Christine. And I looked at the finish and I thought, well, you know, I need some smalls to put in a dough bowl for Christmas, not ornaments. So what I did was I made it into a little pillow, and I love it, Christine. Every time I look at this pillow, I think about you. And this is a piece of fabric I had in my stash. I thought Christmas cookies and peppermint, they go together. And my mini pom-poms came from Lady Dot Creates. My husband bought me those. The year before, he bought me a bunch of finishing things. I just went on Etsy and I made a wish list, and I told him, I said, just go in there and just buy things. And he did. So this is 32 count, and I just love this. And it's from Country Cottage Needleworks. Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you. I loved looking at it this Christmas because I made it through the summer so I could actually do. Then I had a ornament exchange with a group of friends from Friend Stitch, and I stitched Christmas is Home. Sent it to the wrong person, so they had to send it to somebody else. I'm telling you, when you go a lot, you just lose track of what's going on. So anyway, I made the cording, and this is a Prairie Schooler, and it was an old pattern because the pattern booklet is on green. And I know where this is. It's in my craft room, the pattern is, but it's kitted up to stitch more of these because this is gorgeous. I had a hard time giving this one away too. You just don't know. Maybe that's why I sent it to the wrong place. But this one's on probably 32 count, and it's on a natural linen. And I used all the DMCs that were called for. Then, shame, I went back into my under the bed box. From 2008, I found this, and it was just this little green piece. And I thought, what in the world am I going to do with this? And then I thought, here's a pretty piece of fabric that goes with it and sets it off. So I thought, I'll just make it into a little Dobo pillow. So this is what I had. And this is the back. And it's stitched on probably 14 count Aida. And I've got some fly stitches and some cross stitches and some back stitch. And that's it for that. Then I went back in, while I was in my box, I found this, and I was like, oh, you got to be kidding. I need this to be finished. This is from Just Nan. Now, I love Just Nan patterns, but what I do not love is the frames are very limited. And I thought that was just the cutest little gingerbread frame. This was a Whimsy from the Whimsy Ornament series. I was lucky enough to find the 12 Days of Christmas frames, but I did not get this one in time. That's why you should get everything you want at the time. Don't wait. So I did the second best thing, and my quarter was broken at this time, so I had to use cord. I got cording that I bought at Hobby Lobby because for some reason nobody seemed to have a quarter in stock. Finally found one in town here at a needlepoint store. Go figure. But anyway, this is Merry Old Elf, and this is my finish on this, and this is on 32 count, and it used, I used the natural linen. I used number 4 chronic braid 776, and all the rest were DMCs, and the white is B5200. But I just thought this was so cute, and I wanted that frame so bad. But I'm happy with this. This was fabric I had in my stash from some cake squares, and then I had this multicolor cording, which brought out the candy cane colors, and I just put that on there. So there you go. All right, and it's finished, and it's out of my, what people call my under the bed box, which I don't have an under the bed that I put a box in, but I do have a box. Okay, then at the retreat, you probably saw this one if you watched Southern Yankee Stitcher. Olivia shamed me. She got hers finished and done really quick. And this was Ebenezer from the Calico Confectionery. Isn't he cute? Now, this is not a pattern I would ordinarily have bought for myself, but after we got this and I started stitching on it, I was like, oh my gosh, I just love this pattern. And we got this at Pandas Cross Stitch Christmas Retreat. And look at my finish. I think he is just adorable. So, so cute. Donna even painted the hoops for us. And I got it all mounted on here and stitched. And it's on 28 count Vintage Country Mocha. I had some greenery that I actually had bought at Hobby Lobby a while back. And then I made this bow. Can you believe it? It took me 15 minutes to make this bow. I'm not a good bow maker. I've got to sit down with a video from Chantel's 141 and use the bow maker that I bought. Yes, I need to. And then I had this check fabric from Chelsea's Checks in my stash, and I just went ahead and did that. But this one is one of my favorite finishes for Christmas this year. The crow and this, I'm telling you. Going to retreats is such fun. You get all these projects, and some of them you think, oh, from this picture, would you like this? But look, This is adorable. And it also helps that I have a door knocker that says, that I got from my dad, that says bah humbug when you knock on, when you press the little button. It's just so cute. Okay, then I got busy and I stitched this up in December, and I wanted to fully finish it because it honors my family and friends that have lost so much in Western North Carolina. And it was a way to help support them. And I know you've heard me talk about Annie the Proper Stitcher and Bonnie the Nebby Needle, which I am starting. And this is Go Tell It on the Mountain. And she's got a series now, which I've ordered the other two patterns, and I cannot wait till they get here because I love this. Look at that. I had some chenille trim. It was moss or olive. I can't remember now. But this is on 36 count. And it's, I'm using one strand of floss, and it uses Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. But 100% of the money for this pattern went to help those people in Marshall, North Carolina. And that's a town close to where I grew up. And this is what I used for the back. This is some fabric I had in my stash, and I just thought it matched that chenille really nice. But Go Tell It on the Mountain, one of my favorite Christmas songs. And you know I love music. All right. So if you don't have this pattern, you need to buy it because it's out now. And yeah. Okay, the next thing, I picked up something. I went through my Christmas stitching. I was like, what is close to being finished? And yet again, I was like, no, I don't want another Christmas ornament. So I found Rudolph and Friends. Isn't he cute? And I know so many people have been stitching on this one, and I thought, mine's done. I just need to finish it. So what I did was, this is on Winter Brew from R&R Fabrics, 36 count. And I used all the call for threads. And this is how I finished mine, into a little pillow. And I used one strand over two. And I had this holly fabric, and I thought, well, this would just bring out those colors perfectly. And that'll be a good dough bowl pillow. I'll have a really good dough bowl next year. Then I went to the Jingle Ball, and it was very, very fun. And no, I did not finish my gingerbread house yet. It's in timeout for a long time because I am so mad. I've had so much trouble with it. But I did finish Winter Woodland Star. And I fully finished it. And I planned to put this as a star on the top of my tree, but it was a bit small for this big tree. Maybe my smaller tree, my piano tree, it might work. But the only thing is I haven't sewed anything on the back or put anything to do, you know, to hold it up there. So I think this is going to go in my dough bowl also. But it'll probably go, yeah, it's going to go in my dough bowl also. So it's going to have a lot of good company. See, look at this. But hello from Liz Matthews. This is a great pattern. I hope it comes out soon so y'all can buy it. It's on 36 count. I use one strand over two. I use all the call for fabrics, but I changed my color of the beads. She had like little kind of clear whitey looking beads or silvery beads, but I like these green ones. And I picked these up at my local needlework shop and beading store, Pandas Cross Stitch and Beading. And just one container of beads did this, and I have so many more beads left that I can bead 50 stars. So, isn't this cute? And then I used the Kathy Haberman finish on the back and just fixed it to where you can't even hardly tell it. Yay. So, that was fun. And then, let's see if I'm missing anything. Did that. Okay, ooh, Merry Little Christmas. Merry Little Christmas was also an ornament exchange, and plus, I could not remember what the pattern looked like. I need to take pictures. So I do apologize with that. And Flower Box, I have no clue. I just have no clue, but I know I finished it. And I think, oh, and I did, with Stitch Florida, I did Joy, Peace, and Love, and Joy. And those were both finishes, but I don't have those either because I gave those away. So, there you go. But, oh, I forgot one. Gobble Wobble. Yes, hold that thought. I also have this big pillow here. This is the Winter on the Farm, and this is from Little House Needleworks. And I don't have these patterns anymore either, but the quilt block in the middle, and then it's got the barn with the sheep and the horse, and then it's got the pickup truck in front of the house, and the farm, and then it's got another barn, and another house with some people and a dog and birds, and then we've got it looks like a really fancy horse stable, and then we've got the little cow and the chicken and a cardinal. So isn't that cute? So I finished this one, decided I wanted to do all mine all together, and then I was like, well, I don't want another picture. I need a big pillow to put in my little antique rocking chair. And I used some homespun for the back, and I got a pillow form, and that's why I should have stuffed these in the end with polyfill. Goodness, my nose itches. With polyfill, but I didn't. So, but that's sometimes what you do when your pillow form doesn't go out all the end. But I love this pillow. I just think it's just wonderful. And I stitched this on 28 count, and I guess it's like a natural linen or not, I don't know. But I used 2 strands over 2. All right, and I found Gobble Wobble, at least a picture of it. I do have it, but it's packed up in my Thanksgiving stuff, and it's up. I'd have to climb up a ladder to get it, so this picture's gonna have to do. This is on a little cheese board that I had gifted to me from Susie. Thank you, Susie. And I think she said it came from Aldi. Go figure. But this was another Bent Creek kit, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong, but it's Gobble Wobble, and it was so much fun. And believe it or not, I actually saw somebody that wanted to do this. I think it was 911 Stitcher, Stacy. And I was like, oh, I've got that one. It's done and it's finished. Yay. And I put some green, little light green rickrack from the Halloween costume party kit. I had enough left over to go around this. So I thought this was so cute. And this cheese board was like this. I didn't have to paint anything. All right, and the last one, I actually have a real project to show you. This was a complimentary pattern from Sue Hillis Designs. Oh, the weather outside is frightful. And I call this one the Weather Snowman. I had so much fun stitching this one, and I had fun thinking of a finish for it also. And I know the snowman doesn't have a nose, but he didn't have a nose in the pattern either, if you will notice. Okay, I started to give him a nose, but then I was like, no, I'm not going to do it just like. Anyway, I had a piece of light blue 32 count, and look at this. And I used 4 different pieces of fabric out of my stash, and it's got back stitch, outline, and some cross stitch in it. And yeah, no French knots. Yeah, we have French knots for the eyes. I lied. And then we also have some just back stitch was what the branches were, so they're not hard. And then I used this, oh goodness, I used the same fabric because I must have finished it at the same time I did Faith, Family, and Friends. And I was just like, oh, this fabric looks good too. So there you go. And this is going to be on display now. All right, so I hope you enjoyed my fully finished objects video. And I do apologize that I was disorganized and did not have pictures of everything, but I have taken care of that. I'm going to be much better on recording what I do, who the pattern is by, and I'm going to take pictures and print a picture out and put the picture in the little book beside it. Now we'll see how long that lasts. But I'm going to try, because it's very embarrassing to look back and go, I just don't remember that. So anyway, I just want to wish you all a happy year of stitching. And this is going to be my floss tube for this week. And I apologize for not having a free pattern, but I need to take my tree down and the rest of my stuff. Or my neighbors are going to think, what in the world is going on over there? Did she die? You know, so happy stitching. And my next video will be all my new starts, because I had a bunch of new starts for New Year's. All right, and until then, happy, and it will also, and then I will also have a video about my 12 by 12 NYESAL. So be looking for those. There'll probably be one before next week or not. Who knows? And until then, happy stitching and Happy New Year. Bye-bye.